Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Tanner, and welcome to Crypto Bible. It is the day after this massive dip that we have had in the market. I did do a live stream yesterday, just kind of going over everything that I saw at the time. And I definitely recommend that you guys do go ahead and actually watch that live stream if you did miss it. We went through quite a lot of important things in there. We saw some hopeful stuff in there as well. And we just kind of discussed what was happening at the time. But I wanted to just do like an update video this morning because it's always good to kind of get out of that crazy mindset that we were in yesterday and approach this in a different way with a fresh mind. Zoom out, have a look and see what else you're actually seeing, because obviously when all that crazy stuff is happening, you're just kind of looking at one thing. It's like, everything's kind of all over the place. So I decided to take a look at everything else again this morning. I decided to really zoom out and have a look and see, if these charts actually came back and retested like really important areas of support, and to show me some hopeful signs that that was it. What are we kind of just going to do now? And to be honest with you, I have found some pretty good stuff. It's just very simple stuff, but it's stuff that you would have ideally wanted to happen if we were to have a big dip. Obviously we've had it now. I've reevaluated everything and I've had a look and tried to make something of it. So hopefully I can kind of present that to you. And the end of the day, I can try and tell you guys what I think might happen with Bitcoin. But of course, you just never know. But I'll give you some ideas anyway of what I'm possibly expecting. So obviously yesterday we had a big dip. And yesterday, we we're just kind of looking at this right here. And what I ended up doing was saying that, cool, before we were looking at this, when we were in this area for so long, we were calling it the range on my channel, right? We kept saying this is the range. We rejected it here, we rejected it there, and we said, cool, we need to firstly break out of that range and back test it. Well, we did end up breaking out of it and back testing it right there. And yesterday when we did dip, we actually came back and back tested that range once again. But then I decided to zoom out a little bit more and see, has this area got any major significance, right? And when I zoomed out, it really does. It really does. I mean, it was an area of resistance before we ended up breaking above it and turning it into support right there, as you guys can see. So, Bitcoin did come back down and retest these areas. And one thing I can say, again, this is a very zoomed out approach, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but the last time we broke out of this area and we back tested it like that with a big dip, like we've just done, Bitcoin went on to make new highs. And I'm not saying by any means that is what is going to happen right here. I believe we will be making new highs further down the line. However, at this point in time, all I'm looking at was this was previously an area of resistance. We ended up breaking through it. And when we had a big dip to back test this area as support, we ended up going up towards $64,000, right? And now we did break out of this and we've just been grinding up, just like this did. We broke out of it and we've just been grinding up. And then a massive dip came in. I mean, if you look at it from a percentage standpoint, how big was that dip from that top to the bottom? It was a 26% dip. I mean, the one that we just had, it ain't going to be as big, but it's still a 20% dip, 20% dip, right? And the last time we did that, as you guys can see right there, we did end up bouncing on this level and then heading higher, right? Now, in this case right here, we've obviously done the same thing. We've broken out. We've been grinding our way up higher. We have just back tested this level. And it also did come once we did end up entering these levels of retracements up in here, right? We did keep saying that the 0.702 is the most important area for us to get through. We didn't quite even touch it, but of course the El Salvador news came yesterday and we expected some volatility to come in. Of course, even myself, I was not expecting it to be this big, but look, we got it nonetheless. And at the end of the day, we held this support really well. Okay, so that was something that was I was very hopeful about. Again, I approached this yesterday. I didn't even look at this yesterday. I was so focused on just this, literally just from here to here. This morning I woke up and said, cool, let me just zoom out a lot more. And of course we found this, which is good. This is good to see, because yesterday I wasn't seeing this a lot. Like all over Twitter, you're looking for people to give you some kind of some kind of positive news coming out from charts. And yesterday when I was scrolling through my Twitter, you might have been the same. It was so zoomed in and they were just kind of focused so much on what's going on here and right now that they didn't actually zoom out and realize that, cool, this was an area that we, previously flipped as resistance and turned it into support. And the last time we turned that area into support after a big dip, it went on to make new all-time highs. And an all-time high is something that I am fully expecting to happen as well. So that was really good. And then the other thing that obviously I decided to do again for something like Ethereum yesterday, the only thing that we were really looking at was this right here. If I go to the hourly chart, this was of huge significance to me. And you see this across loads of altcoins over the market, right? This was our sell volume right down here. And as you guys can see, the buy volume completely overtook the sell volume, right? Which is what you'd want to see whenever a big dip is coming in. You want to see massive buy volume coming in, and we definitely ended up getting that. We got that from Cardano, XRP, Luna. I mean, all over the market, really. We got this come in, okay? A massive engulfing candle from buy volume overtaking the sell volume. So that was the only thing I was looking at. But again, I decided to zoom out with Ethereum. And weirdly enough, with me, I don't know how I didn't even see this, but I didn't even look at it yesterday. Look at where we just came back down to. It is an area that Ethereum was literally bouncing around for 24 days, about a month. It literally found support on this level for about a month before breaking out, right? Well, we've just come back and back tested it once again. So it is another thing that we need to look out for from a Fibonacci retracement point of view. Of course, Ethereum did break all retracements, but of course it came back and retested the 50% retracement, which is where it was bouncing along anyway. So even that is good news along with the volume. And then something like Luna, for example, all Luna did was come back and retest its all-time high. And these are things that are absolutely fine to see and to do. It's stuff that you would want to happen if a big dip was to come in. If a big dip was to come in, the first thing you're going to be looking at is for important levels of support to come in, right? And as you guys can see right now, that's exactly what we've done. We came back into the area of where that all-time high was, okay? And again, from Luna standpoint, look at the volume. The volume was massive for Luna as well. Once again, huge engulfing volume coming in from the sell to the buy. So it's stuff that you really would like to see. And again, for the total market cap of crypto, I decided to zoom out again. And where did we come back down to? Our previous resistance. So, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, things did kind of bounce where you want them to bounce, and they bounce with a lot of volume as well. See, that area was a massive area of resistance for the total market cap. And I keep saying, arguably the most important chart in cryptocurrency. And it ended up breaking out of that level. Yes, we did, come back below it again. But as you guys can see, that was a level that we needed to break out from. It was previously our support right here. And we've just turned it into support again. And one thing I kept mentioning is that every time a coin or chart will get back in to the levels of its all-time high, as the total market cap of crypto did, what you would end up typically seeing is a lot of volatility in these areas. And of course, yesterday in the live stream, I kept saying I wasn't drawing lines like this though. So again, I must admit, it did go down a lot further than I expected it to, but it came back down and bounced on important levels. And I thought I'd just show you XRP as well, because it kind of done the same thing. It was an area that we ended up breaking below. It was an area of huge support back here as well. And then we ended up breaking below it when Bitcoin went down to like the 28K days. We broke back above it and we've back tested it again as support. And so, once again, this area is a huge level for XRP. So, you got to look at these things. And again, from a Fibonacci standpoint, XRP did get back into those areas. As you can see right there, it hit the 0.618 and rejected it. But we did not close a wick below the 0.382. So it's looking pretty good. And as you can see, the 0.382 was resistance right there as well. So there's many things to look at positively right here. In regards to what I believe Bitcoin will probably do from here, it is extremely difficult to say. However, what I'm expecting is probably going to be some consolidation in this area, right? I mean, we don't know. I probably expect it to come back down and retest this level right again. Like I said, it's very difficult to say what Bitcoin will do. For all we know, it might just end up going higher again. But my expectations, I don't expect a lot at the moment. All I'd probably be saying is that we just kind of range, in this area. For a while, excuse me. So I don't know how long we're going to be in here, but anywhere between that 43,000 to probably about 47, 48K, probably just be ranging in that area until we do end up having a huge breakout and then heading back towards those highs to retest that 0.702. So, that is what I am probably going to be expecting. Hopefully, by the time that Bitcoin is consolidating in these areas right here, we can hopefully see the altcoins maybe recover a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing on the charts. In regards to what else is happening across the market, I thought I'd take a look and I found this pretty interesting. As you guys can see, as of yesterday, after yesterday's dip, there's $3.49 billion worth of longs in the market at the moment after that dip, compared to only $263 million worth of shorts. So yeah, pretty big. I mean, a lot of people are longing the market right now, which is what you would ideally want to see. You don't want to see people keep shorting. The reason why everything went down so much is because of liquidations, right? This will happen. People have loads of longs happening, right? So everyone's long this, they've long that, they've long that. And when the market starts dipping, people start getting liquidated. And liquidation ultimately means selling, because you're having to sell all of your value to pay back the loan that you've taken out to leverage long your position. And ultimately, it causes a huge knock-on effect of all of the liquidations, which then causes a huge sell-off because that position just sold, right? That position just sold. That person just had £100,000 in long, so he's just lost all of that as well. So that's just sold. So it's like a constant knock-on effect of liquidations happening, which then causes a huge sell-off in the market of each and every coin. Hence why we saw a massive sell-off happening, because a lot of people would have been long on the market. Me myself, I was guilty of it. I got liquidated as well, if I'm being completely honest with you. I did. And the market definitely humbles you, man. So there's nothing else we can really say. There's a few quotes that I saw on Twitter that I wanted to show you guys that I found pretty interesting. People are calling for a dip. This is the dip you wanted to get, but now you fear too much to buy. It's pretty typical. It's what would happen. People want to keep buying. They want the dip to come in, but when the dip finally does come in, they start getting very scared. And then I saw this as well. I'm seeing this a lot as well. Whale alerts. There's a lot of money being transferred to exchanges at the moment. And when that happens, they're buying. Okay, they are simply buying up this dip. So that's exactly what you want to see. Yesterday was quite frustrating. In my stream, people would have saw it. I kept lashing out. The reason for it is because we've had 47 days of upwards momentum. In those 47 days, I think we had like 16, 17 red days. So what more do you want? But the problem is, the second we get a big dip, which was probably needed at the end of the day, right? When the second we get a big dip, I go on social media and all I see is, alt season's over, alt season's done with. And I just sit there and I ask myself, I'm like, cool, where was alt season then? Like, they say it's over, but when did it start? You know what I mean? Like, barely anything's made a new all-time high. How is that an alt season? How can you say that? And then when you ask them, they can't justify their answer. So, me personally, I am still bullish. It's not financial advice. It's just my opinion. But look, we've had the dip now. It is what it is. Let's just chill out. Let Bitcoin do what it has to do. Let the market do what it has to do. And let's see what the rest of September will bring. Ultimately, people kept saying that September has always been a bad month. It hasn't always necessarily been a full bad month. We have had big dips that happen in the month. And we've just had one. Thankfully, it's at the beginning of September. So hopefully that's it. And the rest of September, we can kind of just carry on grinding higher. But we have to wait and see. But hopefully, you've kind of seeing everything that I'm seeing in the markets right now. I've kept it extremely simple. I've just had a look and seen where we've actually come down to support levels. I've zoomed out a lot. And ultimately, a lot of things are looking really good to me, especially the main charts: Bitcoin, Ethereum, total market cap. And you've even got like the top 3, top 4 coins, Cardano, XRP, etc. So it's all looking good. And yeah, I'll try to keep you guys updated if I see anything else. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a good day and you can chill out today a little bit. And yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy, people.